Hey guys, what's up? Kuka here. Uh, if you've been on Twitter or social media or any of that stuff, you'll know that Bungie has effectively extended the Destiny beta till Tuesday. Which, fucking sweet. Thanks, dudes. But, yeah. A couple of things I want to sort of go over. I did wake up at 10 this morning to try and get you guys some. Hold on a sec. Motherfucker. God, I hate bugs. Anyway, I did wake up at 10 this morning to try and get you guys footage of The Farm, which is the new social space. And I did. It says it's on YouTube, but apparently something went wrong. Something corrupt. Excuse me. Something corrupted the file. And it's not showing up. It's not whatever. So I'll probably go take it down and all that other stuff. Really disappointed that you guys won't get to actually see it if you don't play the game. Or if you have, if you do play the game, that hopefully you guys made it there yourself, because it was really cool. There's like, and I'll just describe something to you. There's like, you get up on the roof of like this barn, and you look to the left, and there's a chunk of the freaking Traveler just like, and like embedded in the ground, and then it like comes up in a curve and it goes like over this forest. It's fucking cool, man. It's just, it was like, wow. Okay, but that's enough of that. So I want to do here like a final thoughts and opinions video, just because I do have a day job and I can't really play the extended Destiny beta, right? So really, and this isn't like, oh, I'm a Titan main, blah blah blah. This is like, I've played every class, I've played every subclass, I've used just about every weapon combination you can think of. It's just, 10 out of 10 just for effectively feeling like the original Destiny. Like, there's really no button changes other than your hold B for your class ability or whatever, which is like the dodge for hunters, the healing pool for warlocks, or the wall for titans. Other than that, it's literally Destiny 1 controls wise. The UI interface is basically the same. Everything's pretty much in the same spot that it was. This is kind of just a little weird to me, and it did take some getting used to. But other than that, like, you can still select what, like, your grenades, your jump, your rally barricade, your towering barricade. Wait, why is it on towering barricade? Let's swap that back. Okay, and then all this stuff, which unfortunately we never got to test, which, maybe they'll hand out some upgrade points or something over the next 2 days so that we can test it. That would be really cool. But yeah, like, Striker is, it definitely feels like Striker Destiny 1 with the addition that you can move around and you can like shoulder charge, and all, it's basically Striker with the addition of you can drop another aftershock, whatever. You can do another slam. That's what I'm trying to say. This is pretty much, you can drop your Ward of Dawn if you want. You can, whip out your shield, you can throw it, you can do all this other nonsense and everything. Like, the Titan still feels pretty much exactly the same. The only real issue that I have is just kind of like I don't feel they're as resilient as they should be. Because if we're going, and I'm sorry to bring up like TV tropes here, but if we're going by like TV tropes, the Titan should be like a mighty glacier. They move slow, you know, they're cumbersome, they're heavy, but they hit like a Mack truck, and they're basically immovable from their position. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be, you know, they run just as fast as everybody else and they do this and they do that. Like, you should feel like you're playing as a semi truck in a match full of sports cars and SU, like sports cars and sedans and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You should be a Mack truck or an armored car and not like a sports car like the Hunter is. The Hunter should by default be the fastest class, and then, you know, all that other stuff. And then Warlock should be the one with the highest recovery. It should exactly be like this. Like, resilience should be 10 out of 10, and I'm gonna go by a 10 out of 10 scale just for convenience's sake. Like, a Titan's mobility should outright be like 1 or 0. Resilience should be 10 out of 10. Recovery should be like 3 to 5 out of 10. Just because they're supposed to be immovable. You know what I mean? Now, say we swap our character. Right? Say we go Hunter. Which, really, I haven't played too much of the Hunter. But I have, you know, tested all of the subclasses and whatever. Basically, this feels like Blade Dancer. Golden Gun is still literally the same. But yeah, this should pretty much be... This should actually be down here. Your resilience should be like 5 to 7 out of 10. Or no, your resilience should be 0, because literally you're just wearing like 80% cloth, right? So your resilience should be like 0 or 1 out of 10. Your mobility is flat out 10, and your recovery is anywhere from 3 to 5. Now if we swap again... And I do apologize if this feels rushed. I mean, it is like a sauna in this room right now. And you can't see me because thankfully I don't have a webcam, but I am like dripping and melting into my seat. But yeah, like, Dawnblade, it's pretty cool. Voidwalker still feels like Voidwalker. Dawnblade is kind of like Sunsinger, except you don't throw grenades, you basically just spam sword beams. So this is pretty much Sunsinger, and that's pretty much the same. But yeah, this... And I kind of messed around with my settings here, like resilience, mobility, and recovery. His recovery... Let me see if I can actually... Increased resilience. Mobility. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to make sure it all works, you know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying though, right? Like, this should be 0, or this should be like 3 to 5. Actually, no, this is actually pretty good. Recovery though should be like 10 out of 10. Mobility should be like 0 to 3, and resilience should be 3 to 5. Because it's like Warlock is like the middle ground. You know what I mean? They've got the super fast hunter on one end, and then the super slow immovable titan on the other. So it actually makes sense to have your stats be like this. But recovery should be the highest out of, every other class. Now that that's over, let's go back to Titan. Just because, I main a Titan. Whatever. But yeah, it's a solid game. Great mechanics. Felt just like Destiny 1. So there's lots of familiarity, right? One thing I didn't really like was you can only do the opening story mission upon selecting your character. And they put a focus on PvP with two options. You either had quick play, which is low intensity, control, right? Or competitive, which was effectively like plant the bomb or defend the area, right? I don't like the fact that they made your fire team for PvP 4 people instead of 6. I mean, I get it because on the control map it's really really tiny, and 6 people on a control map that's tiny feels kind of crowded. I get that. That's a totally cool choice for that. But have like a 6 versus 6 mode where they don't play on small maps. That's what I think would rectify that issue. And then there was the issue of competitive having a kind of big map, but not enough people populating the map. So really, you had 4 people on a perfect size map, and then 4 people on too big of a map. So it was like you're spread super thin, like... And the thing is if people quit, you don't exactly have the manpower to defend both places at once, or the firepower to effectively take on the other team, which to me is kind of like an ass pull. Sorry for offending anybody or whatever, but like, you don't let people join in on the Crucible matches or whatever, and then like they do join in and it's like, oh, I lost. And I've had that happen to me. I join in and it's like, oh, it's for control, it's 70 to 65 or 63 or whatever. Like, we're gonna lose. And sure thing, like 2 minutes go by, I lose, right? But I've also had it happen where it's like, 2 minutes go by and we end up winning somehow. But really, I think Bungie needs to sort of just keep it at 6 people, do a 3 versus 3 competitive mode on small maps, or even have their maps kind of divided up like they did with, I believe it was Halo 3, where they had that big team battle where it was like 16 versus 16 on this giant, huge map. I think that would, like... And I'm not really a PvP guy, so I don't want to, like, say things and piss people off. But, like, have it split up so that it's, like, competitive is, your Trials, which is a 3 versus 3 fire team battle. Have, like, a competitive with 4 people, and then a competitive with 6 people, and then just have like all the other games with 6 people, or 6 versus 6. That's my thing. Um, the strike. The strike was fucking amazing. They Bungie has learned a lot from their strikes, cuz and it does follow the same formula, which, kind of boring, but at the same time don't fix what's not broken, you know what I mean? But they've learned so much with this strike. It's like it's got everything. It's got big open world, and it'll probably get more linear after the actual game comes out. This is more of just a, hey, we're gonna let you kind of explore the area a little bit without having to go into patrol and blah blah blah. Which, cool on their part, but it'll probably be lineared up, when the actual game comes out. But yeah, it's got fucking everything in this strike. It's got platforming. It's got kill the enemies. It's got activate this. It's got multiple boss stages. Like, the mechanics for the boss change up. That's fucking amazing compared to, like, Fogoth. Or, like, was it Valis Trog? I think it was Valis Trog. The stupid... The strike on Mars with the giant space turtle, and he just walks across the room firing his missiles the whole time. Yeah. Like, that was not cool. This strike is fucking amazing. And I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I did get bored of Destiny 1 after a while, but continued playing it just because, hey, maybe they're going to fix some stuff. This, I think they might actually get right off the bat. Like, I think they're going to nail this one just coming straight out of the gates. And to do the Monday and Tuesday extension for the beta, kudos to them. I do think they're going to use it as more of a stress test, though, for their servers. So there's going to be lots of being kicked to orbit. There's going to be lots of, like, you've been dropped from the strike, you dropped from this, dropped from that, whatever. Because I do remember the last beta for Destiny 1. The first half of the week was great, and then the second half of the week was, like, stress test. That's it. That's all you did was, like, stress test. And then when you got to the tower, it was like, I don't want to leave because I'm going to get thrown back into the stress test. You know what I mean? But yeah. And, for all the naysayers out there and for all the people who hate this game and blah, blah, blah and whatever, and they're just being a bunch of negative Nancys, download the beta. You've got an extra 2 days. Create a character and play through the first mission. Just play through the first mission. If that first mission doesn't change your mind about how Destiny 2 is going to approach story, then there's no hope for you. And I'm sorry that this game is not your cup of tea. But that story mission, that one fucking story mission that you can only play upon character creation, is fucking amazing. And I hope the whole cinematic story is like that. I really do. Because if it's not, then I'm probably not going to be coming back for Destiny 3. And that was, like, the biggest issue for me. Because, and here's the thing, I'm a solo player. So, like, I queue up in Control by myself. I queue up in, like, Mayhem, where it's free-for-all. I don't really play PvP. I play PvE stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I do story missions, I go out on patrol, I grind for stuff. I don't really do raids, and I don't really do PvP and all that other shit. I just do story missions and like Strike and like Nightfall, and that's that. Anyway, I've got to give this game. So far I'm expecting to be like, honestly, anywhere from a 7 to an 8 out of 10 as of right now, because they've done such a good job with the beta. And that's another thing too I want to address, is like Destiny 1, the beta, they released all of Earth and all the missions and the Strike plus the tower. Like, that's a full third of the fucking game that you had at your fingertips. And people overhyped and whatever and went fucking batshit crazy because it was like, oh my god, if this is the beta, how big is the real game? And it was only, 2 other planets, and, it kind of fell flat on its face. The fact that they put 1 story mission in, 1 Strike, and then 2 2 PvP modes, it kind of makes me hyped for the story. It really does, because it's like, we're not spoiling anything this time. That's the vibe I get from that. It's like, here's your 1 Strike, just in case that you don't like fucking PvP. But yeah, we're gonna focus on PvP for the beta, just cause it's, we can have all kinds of people in one place and whatever, and like, yeah. But I'm expecting at least a 7 out of 10 for this game, because that story mission, fucking amazing. The Strike, fucking amazing. PvP, not my cup of tea, but it's still pretty fucking good. I've kicked some major ass in fucking Control here. Like, it's fucking amazing. And I'm not doing this to, like, suck Bungie's dick or whatever, right? Like, it's genuinely, it's a solid beta. It's a solid game. Like, the gameplay mechanics have changed very little over the course of, 3 or 4 years. The one thing I do hate, though, about PvP, and I've played a fair amount of it, just because, you do get tired of running 1 Strike over and over again. The map for Control is really, really claustrophobic. There's a lot of sight lines, and I feel that your health doesn't come back very fast, or at least not as fast as it did in Destiny 1. So when you go and you take a point or whatever, and you're down on low health, it feels like you have to run away and go hide somewhere for, most of the match to get your health back. And then along with that is the super meter issue, okay? I first started playing PvP and it was like, okay, when do I get my super? And the first time I ever got my super, it was literally, 65 to 70 with us at 65. And it was like, okay, well, I better hurry up and use this, because I'm not going to get a chance to in about 10 seconds. So boost the recharge rate of your like of super meter grenades, abilities, and melee across the board, and yeah, or like have it go off of, I don't know, kills or something. But yeah, it's just from this beta, I'm expecting it at the very least a 7 out of 10 game. Now it could change. That score could change when the game actually drops, and I will be doing like not a comparison, but like kind of like a recap of like, okay, this is what I said in the beta, this is what I did, and all this other stuff, and then I'll do it for the game, 2 weeks or so after it releases, and I'll probably update it again. But yeah, as of right now, and now being Sunday of the beta, I'm pretty much expecting a 7 out of 10 game. And one more thing. Bungie, I swear to God, if you put fucking paid DLC like a month into this game, I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna fucking ream you a new asshole. You got that? But no, really, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, if you put fucking paid DLC like a month into this game, there's gonna be a problem, and I don't think I'll be coming back. Yeah. Like, I've had enough of paid DLC for a long, long time with fucking Destiny 1. So just do it right, put the whole fucking game on the thing, and then just have like a timed release where it's like, okay, every however so long we're gonna release new missions and new deal, like, don't fucking put this, oh, we're gonna have you pay $40 for a fucking DLC that's really worth 10. Because you got me Destiny 1, you're not getting me Destiny 2. You're not. But that's my opinion. And this is Kuka Specialist signing out. Keep it real, guys and girls, and have fun. Play the DLC, or play the fucking DLC. Play the beta if you haven't had the chance yet. See for yourself just how awesome this fucking game is. Like, have fun and keep it real. I'm fucking logging off because I'm sweating like a hog and I want to turn my fan on. And I don't want to have it blow into the microphone, so see you later.